The categories are face, woman's runway, Vogue film, Butch queen up in drags, film queen sex siren. Are you ready? Are you bitches ready to walk for me? Bring it to the runway now.
How do I look? Just feel mysterious. How do I look? Je suis mysterious.
Walk for me. Bring it to the runway now.
All people are black, gay people that were kept out of art society. And they made their own arena.
The ballroom scene is a beautiful place, and it's the only place where gay men and gay women and transgenders can all come together as one and do something that they can enjoy doing together as a community.
The history of balls, how Marie Antoinette had balls and she would toss diamonds to the winners. The houses popped up in the early 70s. House of La Beija was the first house. After Paris is Burning, after Madonna's Vogue, then people started creating houses. There's been over 100 houses created so far. A new school legend would be somebody that began their career in 1990. Anybody from 1989 and back is old school. So an icon are those people who go way back, 1989 and before. There's three ways that you get a ballroom name. Original name, a designer name, and a contrived name. House of La Beija was the first house. In the 60s, there were groupings of people. The Spanish drag queens were from Spanish Harlem. I think they were called the Delightful Ladies. And then they had the black drag queens were called the La Chanels. And they used to go to balls and battle against each other, but only as those two groups, not as the house.
La Beija, La Beija, La Beija, La Beija. The house of La Beija will reign, darling. It will always reign, and there is no shade. And for those of you that don't like it, learn it, and learn it well. We were friends before we got on that runway, but once we hit that pinnacle, baby, you see me, I see you. You don't see me, I don't see you. May the best man win.
A perfect ball would be hot performers, great categories, and a great setting, and a great opening presentation by the house that's pulling it off.
The balls are set up where you have a panel of judges who score you from 1 to 10, 10 being the highest. Balls have maybe 20 categories, some have 50.
These new cities that are operating balls like Detroit, Chicago, Atlanta, they accept it real quick. New York gave Philadelphia a hard way to go when they first came onto the ball scene in 1989.
When I started walking balls, this was years ago, and they were up in Harlem. It was very low key. The balls used to start around 4 o'clock in the morning sometimes. Used to come out at 9 o'clock in the morning, people were going to work.
They're not real? Thank you. They're not 2003.
The categories vary from best dressed man to best dressed woman, to female body, to male body, to transsexuals trying to walk and pretend that they are not a man. Some of the winnings are cash and some are just trophies.
The presence that we carry, the aura that we have around us, it takes charge that you know that it's like if you're floating, like you're an angel and you just walked in and you're the most beautiful thing in the world.
There's a language involved in the drag ball words, certain words that are not relevant to anything else. There's certain type of music, there's certain dress, there's modes of character, behavior, looks, styles, and name systems.
To me, the balls is an outlet. It is a soapbox for anybody who wants to express themselves in the gay community that may not be able to do it at home. Thus far, that's where the houses come from, and you have parents, mothers, and fathers.
The purpose of the mother and the father of a house is find the right kids to compete with, teach them, work with them, care for them like if they were actually our own.
DJ Puppy or Beat, crowd, make some noise for the Hall of Fame for 2002.
I'm the legendary icon, Kenny, Nisha Ebony, and I'm just here to tell you a little about the ballroom history and how Legend Statements and Stars developed. It was at Ira and Dwayne Aphrodite Ball at the baseline. They was running, they was pressed for time, and people was coming into the ballroom, and the ballroom was packed. So they came to me and got very, Kenny, could you do something that would keep the kids occupied until we're ready for Grand March? So I said, okay. So I went out there and I told the DJ, give me a beat. And while I was sitting there, I said, well, I want to introduce something new to the people, something we're going to call legends, statements, and stars.
By having the roll call of Legend Statements and Stars, gives everyone a chance to see who are some of the competitors in the ballroom scene.
Because it was a matter of need, they created this house system. It became a creative outlet to live that superstar, supermodel moment under extreme competitive circumstances. Some live this fantasy world every day. Some take their talents to the real world, like Jose, Tracy, and Willie. And some take it as a form of entertainment and leave it like that. Living out on the edge prepares them for life. And through their talents and achievements, they build their self-esteem. At balls, the entire community has the opportunity to participate and to showcase their talents on the runway.
When I take straight people to balls, I have to let them know that there are men in there that look like women, and it is an illusion, and sometimes they see someone who looks good and they'll say, you know, Jamie, she looks good, can you get her number for me? And I'll have to let them know, nice and easy, honey, she's a man.
I'm 40 years old right now, and I think I'm aging pretty gracefully. That's why I tell these girls, when it comes to being the person that I am, stay off drugs, because you'll be happy in the long run.
Say hi, Bobby. This is Picasso Extravaganza.
Oh, he's an ex-lover too,
Of course, just like Mother.
I was chosen by only one person to become the mother of this house, and that was the mother herself, Angie. There was no question if it's about it, as far as they were going to have a meeting to see who the mother was. Angie already knew that she wanted me as mother. You go from boy to femme queen. I started taking hormones at the age of 16. You know, at 18, I got castrated. You go through electrolysis. If you have a lot of hair in your face, I didn't. I had peach fuzz. So I just took care of that. And once you get castrated, everything falls in place. So if you're a little skinny boy and you're still feminine, when you get castrated, you're basically a woman. Makeup comes from within me. What I want to create in this face, what colors I want to add, what beauty I want to bring out. Like Octavia always says, that wicked beauty. My stages of transformation was, I was a boy.
Name?
Name? You want my name? My boy's name? Never. I would never give you my boy's name. And I'm a junior, mind you. The gay kids in different house families, we want to do this because this keeps us together. Angie always told me, keep the flame going, don't let it die. You know, so I try to do that for my house. The House of Extravaganza was the first Latino house. You just have to look that essence. We see it, we feel it, we smell it. Why does it end up so many talented people in the ball community? Because it just comes out. People want to be creative. People want to show what they can do.
Do you feel comfortable with your sexuality?
Oh my God, you just don't know how comfortable. I am so comfortable, I am happy. Very comfortable.
To be a femme queen and to come off unclockable, that is over. That is the complete over.
How we received our status is through being drags, from drags converting into transsexuals, from transsexuals converting ourselves and being labeled femme queens because we are what people come to see.
I am truly proud to be what I am. I wouldn't be a female, I wouldn't be a man if I had the choice. And God willing, if I have to come back on this earth, I want to come back a third gender. I refuse to come back anything else because I am so in tune with who I am. They're afraid of me because I'm much more extraordinary, I'm much more exciting, I'm much more beautiful, I'm much more enchanting. I have powers of a man and the charm of a woman, and that's dangerous.
Octavia's my first gay daughter. That little bitch used to give me a hard time.
I'm strong, and I keep saying, you know, the devil is always trying ways to make me feel like I'm nothing, and I won't allow it.
I'm a boy and a girl, queen of the underground, mistress of the underworld.
The day that you're born, a candle is lit to guide and protect you, to give you wisdom and wit. The path you must choose wisely, you must follow them right. It's up to you to choose the path into the darkness or into the light. Beyond sight, body, and soul, a power is past. God's powerful voices shall reveal thy task. If you should succeed in life, your task has just begun. For you shall now know God has claimed you to be the chosen one.
Transsexuals was a New York City deal.
I was only 18 and Carmen was 19. This is me in 1985. That's Cindy Crawford. That's me. That's Diane DeWitt.
The doctors were better. The surgeons were better. The hormones were better. And the transsexuals were considered the most beautiful in the world. So because of this, lots of transsexuals from other countries was coming here because where they're from, they weren't getting the satisfaction of becoming women as they were. But when I was growing up, there weren't many transsexuals. There were more third genders. And this is what I was brought up to learn. Now there are very little third genders because half of them have already died from AIDS because of their lack of education, because of their lack of family values, because of their lack of morals and principles and family and friends support. These people had no knowledge of anything, and anything they had to learn themselves, and some of them had to die learning it. A lot of these girls think that if they get a vagina or they go to some doctor and let them cut off their penises and make it into a hole, that they can live their lives as a woman and they can get married and maybe adopt children. This is every transgender's fantasy, to have a rich white man. I don't understand that. But they fail to realize truth does not change. No matter how much you cut it up, no matter how much you camouflage it, no how much you deny it, truth cannot change. And that sends them over into a self-destructive pattern after they've decided to do the things in their life, and they realize that now after the operation, they're nothing as opposed before. They were special, and no one was to help them recognize that. No one was around to let them know what you are
is magnificent. You're so busy fighting, hating yourself, because society has made you believe that you are nothing, that you actually became nothing by having this operation.
I declare the blood. We are here to serve it more. There our house stands from back to door. Children watch us grow, you cannot help to endure.
Me being a third gender, I don't know what it is to be a man as far as a physical attribute. I never looked like a man, and trust me, my whole life I've tried. Until it got to a point where I had to accept myself for who I am and was what I am. I don't know what it's like to grow a mustache. I don't know what it's like to grow a beard. I don't know what it's like to be big. I don't know what it's like to have a muscular body. And trust me, my whole life I have worked at it. I couldn't stand myself for being this freak of nature that everybody so viciously reminded me of every day of my life. When I was growing up, balls meant something. It meant that you were the best. It made you work hard at everything. It taught you about discipline and respecting yourself and having ambitions to do something that you thought was the impossible.
Mistress of the underworld, the underworld, the underworld, the underworld.
Third gender is basically you born with more female hormones than male, and you don't have to do anything to make yourself look like a woman, because only God knows you're a man, but you look just like a girl.
People are still concerned about what's between my legs instead of knowing. And I said to him, you know, we could just be friends. He was even too conservative to be my friend. People and how weak and insecure men are or women are that they can't even confront me as an individual without looking at me as some sort of sex toy that they're attracted to, and they're trying to avoid it by treating me like I'm absolutely nothing. And I was totally overwhelmed. It really took me for a loop. I'm strong, and I keep saying, you know, I can't let that bring me down.
When you're young, you have no fear because you're naive to a lot of things. But as I started making money in the fashion business and became more and more popular, slowly an insecurity set in. Is today the day that people will find out about Tracy and who she really is? And if so, how will they accept that? Back in the 70s, I started out as a model, and I was discovered by Irving Penn. And my first contract was with Clairol, and I was on their hair color boxes. And I signed another contract with Ultra Sheen Cosmetics. The third contract that I signed here in New York was with the Avon skincare products when they were promoting a new line for women of color. I lasted for at least 2.5 years in New York City before someone actually found out. And what happened was a part of the history. The doors closed.
A house is like a family, you know, a home. I mean, for us, it's always been that. I mean, we always have been and tried to be very family orientated. Whereas, okay, this one doesn't have a place to go. Here, come with me. You know, you don't have an outfit here, wear this. Or you don't have any money to get into the ball or for whatever here. You know, you're hungry here, you know, let's eat. A lot of kids, you know, their parents don't accept the lifestyle that they've chosen to live, and which is where we come in, and we try to fill voids for each other. I may have an emptiness inside of me, maybe of a brother that I never had. One of my Ganser brothers will fill in, you know, to the fullest, and it'll make me feel like, wow, this is really my family.
I'm all about love, peace, and respect. I love helping people, and that's what makes me, you know, want to come back, besides just voguing, dancing, and carrying on, because these people supported me, and, you know, they gave me attention and love and respect, and that's what I usually don't get in the outside world. A house is an organization more like a gang. It's a gay gang. They protect each other, they watch each other's backs. It's a really good place, good, you know, people to be with. And it's very important to know who legends are, because they teach you how it's done.
I think I'm like one of the youngest people my age that are like really doing it up in the ballroom scene. I'm not bragging, but I think it's true. And it makes me kind of feel good, because, you know, like I have people out in public, oh, well, that's Roxy.
A lot of kids don't get along with their parents. So we're like foster parents, so they're able to come talk to us about their problems. And we like to give them guidance in life too, like making sure they have a job, making sure they go to school.
My advice to parents with a child like Octavia is not to fight them. It's not going to help. Help them in every way and love them as they are.
I call my mom, I'll get in contact with my father, and we always start and end our conversations with, I love you, and that is right there just, I love that because I need that support in my life.
I would do anything for her because she's done everything for me. She's given me inspiration. Why? Because my mother's wheelchair bound, but she's never stopped her. The first ball I ever walked, she was there to support.
It was my sophomore year, 1995, roughly, February, and when I ran away from my mother. And for that whole year of 1995, she was so upset at me. She couldn't believe that her baby left her. And I felt bad that I did that to her, but I had to do it because I wanted to follow my dreams. I wanted to educate myself better, and I felt like I was going to be able to do that in New York.
My own family had thrown me out, and, you know, they weren't really, you know, my parents or my brothers and sisters, but to me they were. You know, in life you learn that your friends are your family, and they're the ones who made me who I am today.
My dad, on the other hand, was a little rough on me. He didn't understand what was going on too much, but he's fine now.
My mom always knew, you know. My dad also, even though it was never discussed. Never been disrespected either.
My father was black. He was a Muslim. And he was very open-minded. He was in the military. He traveled the world. He's been around the globe. So he was very open-minded. As far as friends, they accepted me right away. So I had a pretty easy life as far as my parents were concerned. They were very supportive of me.
After 7 years of being a transsexual, that's when I received the respect and the love from my mom and my dad.
I get a lot of support more from my mother and my brother, more or less than my father, but he do accept my homosexuality.
No deposit, no sunbathe. Break it down.
I have always been and always will be her daughter.
I remember the first person in my family I told that I was gay was my sister, Michelle. And I used the example of a TV program that was on. There was a character who was gay, and then I had to explain to my younger sister that I'm like Jody. It was called Soap.
Harmonica Sunday is about to pump.
Parents that have children that are going through transformation is to give them all the love and all the support.
Harmonica Sunday.
If you don't give them love and support, you're gonna lose them. They're just gonna go wild. They're gonna be lost jewels. They're gonna need all the love, all the support that you can give them.
When I was rock bottom and I had no money, nowhere to go. I had to do what I had to do in order to maintain. Angie, Mother Infinity, she has helped me so much. Even when I didn't have a place to stay, she was like, come here, come to my house. She gave me my first hormone shot. So that's a mother.
I think I make a good mother. I support my kids. I try to guide them the right way.
It's really hard to be transgender because you have to deal with a lot of criticism and a lot of judgment. You know, if you don't do it right, people will put you down. When I began hormonal treatment, I went to Callan Lord. It's a health center for the GLBT community. They didn't want to give me hormones straight off the bat. They just wanted me to go to therapy and get counseling sessions, and I did.
You want him to do, then you have power.
I've been walking balls for about 12 years. I try to take it beyond the ballroom scene. I dance for a living. I'm a choreographer. I perform for Puffy Combs, Missy Elliott, and a few other stars, trying to take it as far as I can. So that's another reason that I walk balls too, because I feel that balls can take people places. It depends on what you do and how you do it.
A lot of people never use their shoulders when they're voguing usually. And then this movement here, those were my signature movements. And now there seems to be standards.
It's gonna get severe up in here. It's gonna get severe up in here. It's gonna get severe. It's gonna get severe. It's gonna get severe up in here. Ow, break it down.
A little bit of martial arts, a little bit of pantomime. When I started it, it was because I'm in the club having fun and they get in my face and lo and behold, here comes a new movement. Working with various recording artists from Grace Jones to Queen Latifah. It was just about having fun and just goofing off.
It's gonna get severe up in here. It's gonna get severe up in here. It's gonna get severe. It's gonna get severe. It's gonna get severe up in here. Ow!
If you have a fierce song, your body's going to do what that song is telling you. Or if the commentator's turning it out and he changes the beat, but you can match him, your body's going to match what he's saying. So I create it in my mind and then try to create it on the floor. I feel it later and I have to soak in the tub for a couple hours. Twisted ankle in Germany, this scar from going into a prop on the stage.
Break it down. 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 Break it down.
Spasm from all the arm clicks, and especially if you're doing it during performances and you're doing it for an hour or so, believe me, the older you get, the harder it gets. So all you young kids, you're going to need a lot of Bengay and Epsom salt. We have so much against us being black or Latin and gay. Taking what we do and branching out and showing the world this is us, look at our talent, and just bringing the spotlight to the community. To me, that's a legend.
First time Vogue was ever seen was Jody Watley's second video called Still a Thrill. Tyrone Proctor, we were in a dance group together, choreographed that, and he was best friends with her. Second video, Taylor Dane. Shake was a choreographer as well. Bobby Brown's choreographer was in that video. It was weak. I mean, it was, a straight boy trying to do a little Vogue. Then there was Liz Torres, a underground house classic. Then it was my video. Then it was with Latifah, Coming to My House. Then Delight, good beat. then Madonna.
My house is mixed, is straight, is gay, is multiracial, and the reason I do that is, if we want to be accepted, we gotta accept everybody else. Okay, don't call me in the morning.
It's gotten me to see various cultures and experiences that I'll never forget.
Looking at the history of the ball community, Pepper was one of the last surviving legendary mothers.
When we were going to balls were a special event. They didn't have them every month. It'd be 1 or 2 a year, and you prepared yourself for that night. Because you couldn't come in there giving them no bullshit, because they would chop you.
Because she's been doing that for over 3 decades, it was well overdue that she be honored and respected.
Pepper was truly an icon. Pepper Lolita LaBeija had 2 children and a beautiful mother.
There is a whole new generation of ball kids now, and very few of them knew Pepper's struggles and the survival skills she required to live her life. In addition, Pepper has seen the comings and goings of hundreds of ball children whom we lost to HIV and AIDS.
We've lost a wonderful world of people with so much experience, talent, beauty. We've lost a lot of people along the way.
Eric really shined light on the ballroom. He was always fair. He gave everybody a chance.
A real inspiration to the ballroom community, and he was real creative.
We're here tonight to pay homage to our brother Eric Christian Bazaar, because there will never be anyone else like him on the mic.
On the mic.
Or for punk rock.
Let us pray.
Or for Bazaar.
That's right.
Or for foot and eyewear. Let's just say all around.
All around, darling.
Butch Queen.
That's right. That's
Legendary.
right. Always serving,
always
always
serving
done.
what?
Most legends don't have to knowing it and believing it once.
Yes.
I love it.
That's right.
I'm not going to sit here and lie to you that the girls was using condoms back in 1982. Condoms, we didn't even know what that thing was. I don't know why I'm alive. I thought that because I was HIV that I would never be able to have sex again. This is what I'm thinking. I'm never going to have sex again. I'm never ever going to let a man touch me. I couldn't think about being with somebody knowing that I have AIDS. But HIV is not having AIDS. HIV is not really harmful to anybody unless I make it harmful.
We don't know everyone's status, and everyone's not going to tell us their true status. So protect yourself. You know, treat everyone with universal precaution.
This is my boyfriend, Justin. We've been together for almost a year. I titled this one, Justin Came to Me in a Dream. I did this in a series of photographs that came from dreams that I was having. I have very vivid dreams, partly because of some of the medications that we take. One of my favorite people to photograph is Cleo. He's my best friend. He's in the ballroom community. He walks Butch Queen up in drags categories, and I live.
Luna Luis Ortiz has been a member of the Visual AIDS Archive Project since 1998. And in that time, we've seen his work mature as an artist and photographer, activist, and teacher. Through the direct support that Visual AIDS offers artists living with AIDS, we hope to be able to empower them to continue making work as well as to document and hold a visual record of the AIDS pandemic and the art that's come from artists living with AIDS.
I choose to do portraits of my friends because I've lost so many of them, sort of like a visual diary, so I could keep my friends with me at all times, and sometimes I have them all over the apartment. As an adolescent, I was not supposed to think about sex, yet I did think about it, and I engaged in it. Unfortunately, I was not informed about what was safe and what was not. I became infected by HIV in 1986 at the age of 14 with my first sexual experience. HIV made me think about how I wanted to be remembered. It was important for me to let people know that I exist. I thought at the time that I was going to get really sick and look like the images of AIDS we saw in the 1980s, but I didn't want to be seen as an AIDS victim. Around the time that I met Justin, I was having difficulty finding a relationship. A lot of people refused to date me because I was positive.
Don't bring it down, don't bring it down.
Justin came to me, and he was always very supportive about it. I remember I was afraid to tell him that I was positive. And I always wondered, why was I afraid when I was always a show-off about my virus? He basically held my hand through the whole thing. Our sexual part of the relationship is very beautiful. It's intimate. It's just as normal as anybody's relationship. And it's very protected. It's a healthy, protected relationship.
Throughout the years, you know, people that I came out with and people that I was raised with just like start dying on me.
It affects me a lot. I mean, wow. Personally, I've lost over 400 of my friends. I can count ballroom personalities and people that are gone. It hurts.
When I had to go to Ken Pendarvis's funeral, I was left baffled, bewildered, and bothered. Because I remember when all two of us or three of us were on the voguing floor performing against each other, and they're not here anymore.
I've lost a lot of friends, but I've lost a lot of clients.
So how it affected me is that I couldn't help anyone.
Find you're HIV positive, that doesn't mean it's the end of your life. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them kids turn to drugs as a comfort for being HIV positive, but it's once you eat, like I tell them, once you eat right, you take care of yourself, you take your meds on time, you'll be all right.
Number one, I'm still here. And number two, I'm still negative. And the reason why is that I didn't drink and I didn't take drugs. And I said no. And that's it.
GMHC, I know that they do wonderful things for the gay community. In the beginning they did, like they were bringing houses to do, you know, safe sex ads, but then they stopped all of that, you know? And you would see them at the balls and it became a thing where a latex chopping someone and it's like, wait a minute, aren't you here to save the day?
As far as the House of Latex, no comments.
The people who organized it aren't purely bald people that would have kept this going. At one time, we had the cream of the Lakers there. We were all contained. We were all showing interest. We were all showing meetings, and then they just dropped.
Sir, walks out. Walks, sir. Walks, sir. Break it down.
Oh, okay, I'll be on my way over there. Do me a favor, get a bottle of champagne.
It feels almost like you're a celebrity, and it's the excitement. You want to get there and see who's wearing what, who's with who's in what new house.
For someone to be considered a legend, you have to at one particular point be the best or at the top of that particular category that you are.
The Hall of Fame, what does it mean to me? It means a lot to me because it shows that the community approves of me. They see me. It made me feel like all the times by me being in the ball scene, it paid off.
Being inducted into the Ballroom Hall of Fame, you know, of legendary status, I made that. And I walked my first ball when I was 14 years old. I don't have to walk anymore. And there's some people out there sometimes that would be like, okay, I want to walk against this person, against someone of my caliber, of my status. You know, that would excite me enough to say, okay, this person is going to give me a run for my money. But I don't think there's no comparison to what I did with it and what they're doing with it now. So there's no need for competition because there isn't any.
Ooh, she better work. No pushing, I'm here to work. Wanna see you work. Wanna feel you work. Wanna watch you work.
Tell me, who would you like to see on the runway right now? Extravaganza power! Jose Extravaganza!
Voguing empowered me in a lot of ways. It's something that it became like so natural to me because of, you know, my talent and my gift and what I love to do. It gave me reassurance. It gave me secureness. For those 5 minutes that I was out there doing this art, creating, you know, it made me feel like I was doing something, and I was, and that's great for my ego. It's great for anyone's ego to feel like, wow, I just did something and got applauded and rewarded for it. You know, it's a wonderful feeling, and that make you feel really good. And feeling good, I mean, that's all you need. It shows. You know, you get a glow. I mean, if you feel good, you know, you walk down the street, there's a certain walk to your walk, there's a certain talk to your talk. You know, when you feel good, you feel invincible, you feel strength, you feel everything that's good. And the fact that that can bring all those things to you just from doing that, like doing anything that you love, anything that's being appreciated, it's definitely a force not to be reckoned with.
One extravaganza, two extravaganza, three extravaganza, 3, 2 Givenchy, 3, 4 Givenchy, 4 extrava, 5 Givenchy, 5 extrava, Jose Stays and Andre on the round of applause.
It's given me a career that is amazing. I mean, I never thought, you know, me, the kid from the projects, what the hell was I going to do?
When you put creativity out there, what you get back is, wow, amazement.
If you really respect yourself, you love what you do, people will learn how to cope with you. They need, and all these corporations and all these businesses, these fashion houses, they need the drama. They need all that. I wish to God I had videotaped every day of my life, though. I'd be a really rich queen right now.
What they do does have impact. It does affect the whole world. It's been an honor for me to sit with Willie Ninja and Hector Extravaganza and all these people as a total outsider who knows nothing and partake in all this, bedazzlement and to help judge the contest. It's really been fun for me.
If only like the world didn't have stereotypes or the hang-ups around being GLBT, like I could just imagine how much more beautiful this world would be with the creativeness that comes out of this subculture.
Be safe and certain in what you do, and don't grow up too fast. Take time out to live before you start making decisions that are just going to hold you back.
I have a lot of doors open to me in Spain. They know who I am, they know what I'm about, they know what I can do, so they open a lot of doors to me.
The point is never give up. And that's what the legacy will continue, is as long as no one gives up.
Let me live, let me feel the rain, let me feel the sun, let me be happy, let me feel alive.
Today I'm fighting for the cause, to keep hope alive. It's not over until it's over, and it's not over yet.
There's a rumor going around that we've never heard before. Are you an E-B-O-N-Y Ebony, or are you the new mother of the house of Malona Blood?
I always love the Ebonies in my family, but I am the mother of Malona.
Well, Tony, give a round of applause. Congratulations. It's gonna get severe up in here.
The categories are face, woman's runway, Vogue film, Butch Queen up in drags, Film Queen sex siren. Are you ready? Are you bitches ready to walk for me? Bring it to the runway now.
How do I look? Mysterious. How do I look? Je suis mysterious.
Walk for me. Bring it to the runway now.
How do I look?
Walk for me.
How do I look?
Bring it to the runway now.
How do I look? Je suis mysterious. How do I look? Je suis mysterious.
Bring it to the runway now.
How do I look? Je suis mysterious. Je suis mysterious.
So be happy and celebrate. So baby, please give yourself a chance. I understand what you're going through. So don't give up, come and celebrate. It's a celebration. Let's celebrate to be alive. It's a celebration. Let's celebrate to be alive. It's a celebration. Let's celebrate to be okay. It's a celebration. Let's celebrate to be alright. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. People can be very cruel. Life can be so very hard, but you need to know that you're not alone. So be happy and celebrate. So baby, please give yourself a chance. I understand what you're going through. So don't give up, come and celebrate. It's a celebration. Let's celebrate to be alive. It's a celebration. Let's celebrate to be alive. It's a celebration. Let's celebrate to be okay. It's a celebration. Let's celebrate to be alright. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a celebration. Let's celebrate to be alive. It's a celebration. Let's celebrate to be alive. It's a celebration. Let's celebrate to be okay. It's a celebration. Let's celebrate to be alright. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. 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 Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Do not fear me, human. I've come from afar to grant you every whim. God has commanded that I please thee, to give you true happiness and love in its purest form. Take my hand, my love, and I will take you to a place filled with wonders. I think you humans call it paradise. I call it home. All my life I've walked on holy ground. Before you came, my world was burning down.
And every time I think about you loving me, it sets me free. All my life I walked on holy ground. Before you came, my world was burning down. And every time I think about you loving me, it sets me free. Oh, I loved you, and God commands me to grant your every wish and make your dreams come true. I've come from a place that is high above, where angels fly and possess the purest love. So climb aboard my wings and you and I will fly to paradise. I loved you, and you will love me too. And in return, I'll be so good to you. All your life I watched you move with grace, your loving touch and your angelic face. And I command that you will be with me for life. I'll be your guiding light. I love you. Please believe it's true. I love you, boy, 'cause God commands me to. Ay, 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 ay.